Alright, so I figured I might as well just finish this and do a part two of the questions only fair for the rest of you guys. So the other question is part two. So for how long have I been training? Me and Angel, uh, and are we using a scheme? And what's my max bench bench press? My max. I've been training 3 years now. Not not strict, but 3 years so far. I started in November 2009, and I missed a couple months in 2010. Got fat again, a little bit fat, about 20 pounds overweight, and yeah, up and down. I don't know what you mean by using a scheme. Uh, whether I don't know what that means, but my max bench press is right now is 275. Just the fact that I finished bulking, not that really strong in the flat bench, and that's basically it. Who's stronger overall, you or Angel? Angel's stronger on bench. He's stronger definitely on upper chest. I'm stronger in deadlifts. I'm stronger in squats, and he's stronger in biceps. You know, um, it's like basically I have a body part that's stronger than his. He has a body part that's stronger than me. Was I ever skinny? Yes, I was skinny my entire life. From when I was little, then I got fat. When I was a teenager, then I got skinny, and then I got fat, and it's been back and forth. Bulking reps and sets versus cutting and rep sets. How's that look? And full body splits, back, chest day, leg, arms, rest day. All right, so bulking reps and cutting sets, it should be the same thing. When you're cutting and bulking, the only difference that you should make to your workout plan is the calories and the cardio. That's basically it. You know, if you're bulking, bulking reps is not gonna, it's not gonna make a difference. What you want to do is you want to keep that strength. You want to keep that, what you worked for. When you're cutting, you want to keep everything. You don't want to, sacrifice any strength. You don't want to sacrifice anything. You just want to stay strong. High reps is not gonna get you any cutter. That's a theory. That's a myth. Oh, let's do high reps so we go burn, so we can really burn, and we're gonna cut all kinds of fat. No, that's just your body. That's just freaking acid just burning, making it burn a lot. Just keep the reps the same. If you're bodybuilding, 8 to 12 reps. If you're strength training, just keep it 1, 3, 5 reps, something like that. All right, the next question. That's a little too long. I'm trying to keep this video short. Tortillas versus corn building. I don't really eat tortillas, so I wouldn't really know. Continue. Not sure if Dominicans. Sorry about that, guy, but I don't eat tortillas as often. But you can eat anything as long as it's all about the calories. That's all it is. And if it's not healthy, you just don't eat it that often. Why does pizza come in a square box? I don't know. Just the fact that it's round, and if it's easier, I don't know. Is it okay to work out twice a day? It is okay to work out twice a day as long as you're getting enough calories. It will be okay to work out twice a day. Some people don't have any time and they just make it work. If you find a way to make it work, it's possible. You just gotta find out what body parts you can work out, and over time you will find out workout for yourself. There's people that just bust their ass training. They do MMA, they do lifting, they do sports, and they get results. So just find a way to make it work. Make sure you eat enough calories, and you should be fine. When am I gonna do a 1 year bulk? I don't think I will ever do a 1 year bulk. Just the fact that I will get extra fat. I will get really, really fat. When I bulk, I can't bulk slowly. I just can't do it. It's hard for me just to try to bulk, and I will probably be like at 250 pounds. I'm not even kidding. The heaviest I've been in a bulk is 200 pounds on that, and that was only for like 5 months. I don't think I would try a 1 year bulk. I'll end up at 250. I'll be strong as shit, but to cut all that fat, it will take me months. All right, so what up? I'm bulking, but I realize on only my legs, chest is growing, and my abs are fading big time. Why are my arms growing? Do I need to work them harder? Uh, your legs are growing, your chest is growing, your abs are definitely gonna fade. Just the fact that you're gaining body fat. What you could do is you could, eat bulk a little bit slower, try to gain 1 pound per week, And as far as your arms, they're not growing. They should be growing. Just the fact that you're adding more fat, so they should look bigger. What you could do is, you can incorporate more sets. You could do more of a bodybuilding, 8 to 12 reps, one tempo. Focus on bringing no momentum, just handling the weight and taking little rest. 30 to second seconds of rest, and really squeeze with the muscles. Really work the muscles. Don't worry too much about the weight, how heavy it is, and that should help you out a lot. That's helped me a lot as well in the past. Strength make your muscles look hard. That hyperflexion sets low. Bodybuilding makes it bigger. Sets of 12. You should basically control the weight. Yeah, that guy just answered the question. I'm reading it like a dumbass. Fuck. Difference between strength training and bodybuilding. That's the same thing. Heavy lifting heavy, and bodybuilding is controlling the weight. Um, I'm very close to getting abs, but don't want to heaps of cardio, but would you recommend doing cardio or eating less? Just do walk. Like I said on the last video, just walk steady pace. You can add 30 minutes every day almost. You know, and that's gonna help you burn a lot of fat, and it's not gonna sacrifice any of your muscle gains while you're in a caloric deficit. Um, Hippies all up in here hating. I think that's right. How many resting days do you recommend a week? 'Cause I work out hard and sometimes I'm too sore to work out the next day. If you're too sore, I usually tend to rest 2 to 3 days a week. If you're too sore, you could just change the way your schedule is. Cause if I do back and legs like back and forth, I won't be able to do it. So find a body part that you could work out when you're sore. For instance, if you do chest, you could do legs the next day. But if you do back and then legs, if you do deadlifts, you'll notice that your legs are gonna be a little bit sore, your hamstrings. So just find a way, to put your workouts that way you don't get sore. It doesn't bother you working out. That's just what I suggest. Or you can hit that body part twice a week. Just don't go to failure and do a little bit more sets, and over time you won't get sore at all. You're still gonna work out the muscle, but you're just not gonna get sore. My shoulders are too round. What's the fastest way to build muscles in your shoulders? Thanks for the help. Saludos from San Diego, California. The thing is about shoulders, you want to hit them from all angles. You have the front delts, you have the side delts, you have the back delts. So you want to hit them from all angles. You could do dumbbell flies, front flies. Of course, you could do dumbbell presses. You could do clean and press. You could use the barbells, and you definitely want to hit the back this way. You could do it with a cable. Uh, just search up rear delts, and a lot of people tend not to hit them. They neglect the rear delts, and sometimes their shoulders will look round in the front, but in the back it'll be flat. So just make sure you hit all angles, the front, sides, and the back, and that will help you out a lot more. Alright, so the next one. I've been working out for 6 months. I've lost weight from 200 pounds to 176. My goal is 165. But he feels that his stomach and chest are too soft. He does cardio every day, abs every day, and lost a lot of weight. How can I get my body to be hard as a rock? You could try, coconut butter skin, the ones pregnant women use for the stretch marks. You could apply that every day. That's helped me a lot. I have stretch marks on my biceps. I'm pretty sure you guys can't see it, but it's there. It's just real light now. It used to be very, very red, and you have to give your body time to catch up with the weight you lost. Your skin will eventually it will get tighter and tighter, and you'll get accustomed to the weight you lost. Just the fact that you lost it so fast, your skin was not catching up with the weight loss, so it's gonna be a little bit soft. But what you could do is you can introduce bodybuilding just so you could fill your body up more, grow more muscle, and just get pumped a little bit more. But just try coconut butter, just help the skin. It's vitamin E. It's gonna help you get your skin tighter a little bit more faster. But just try to stay around the same weight for a little while, just so you can just so your skin can have the time to catch up with that. It is gonna feel a little bit stretchy. Just the fact you lost all that weight. I have the same problem when I cut. My lower abs, my skin is a little bit soft, a little saggy, a little bit, just a tiny bit. But just you have to give it time. Your body's not used to at that weight. All right. Have I taken any of anabolic steroids? I have not. I don't plan on taking them. If I would take it, I'll probably do it when I'm old as shit. But nah, I don't plan on taking it. Just the fact that I want to live a healthy life. I don't want to risk it, and I sure as hell don't want to speed it up just for some gains. I'd rather just take my time with it, go naturally, and just try to achieve it naturally, and I'll be happier if I do it that way. And there's a lot of guys like the Hodge twins, Chris Jones, Matt Ogus. They're natural. They've been training 6 years, and that's what you'll look like if you stay dedicated. So that's definitely inspiration right there. Just to stay natural. What kind of training should I do? A bulk or a cut? Need your help. If you want to bulk, you're gonna gain fat. If you want to get a little bit bigger, you want to do a bulk. Do a slow bulk if you don't want to get fat. Just try to gain 1 pound per week. If you want to get ripped, what you want to do is cut. If you're a beginner, the best option for you is to cut. Just the fact that you have the ability to gain muscle and burn fat. And the thing is, when you do that at first, you're gonna get more inspired. Just the fact that your body is looking different. You're getting all these cuts everywhere. Your muscles are growing. You'll find a lot more motivation that way. Just stay in a caloric deficit. Do a little bit more cardio, like walking, like I said, 30 minutes every day. Weight training really hard, and you will get ripped and you will grow muscle. The first into second year. It's not as hard as over on your third year. It's not as hard. On your third year is gonna be a lot difficult. I'm sexy. You want to have my babies? All right, that's good. Hope that's not a guy. Jamie. All right, I got a question. Why is it not good to bulk long? I've searched everywhere, but I don't find any answer. It's you go bulk long. The only thing is you're gonna gain a lot of fat. That's all it is. If you don't wanna gain fat, just don't bulk long. But if you wanna get strong as shit, you wanna build muscle, just bulk as long as you want. You know, just eat healthy, because if you eat more junk food, that's not healthy for you. I'm an obese guy. He wants to join a gym. What advice can I give people, for the first time to joining a gym? You know, if you want to join a gym, you just gotta be confident. You might think that people might be looking at you like, ah, look at this guy. When people are not actually doing that, they give, you know, they like seeing people out of shape, giving it a try. So just go over there with confidence and just stick with it. The key is, not to quit. You stay consistent. You go to the gym every day. Just go 5 times a week, 6 times a week. Stay consistent and you will see results. You know, don't be, you know, don't be afraid of what people think about you. Just the fact that, it's good to see somebody out of shape trying to, change their lives. That's inspiration itself. Just put in the work, just go to the gym and don't worry so much about what people think about you. Is Angel my brother? Well, he is kind of my brother. I only known him for actually about 3 years and a half, 4 years now. And we've been, close ever since. Carbs good in a cut? Yeah, carbs are definitely good in a cut. Gives you energy. I like to take my carbs when I cut, when before my workouts, just so I can go, focused and energized. The only thing that gets you fat is overeating. Eating too many calories. Compound movements for teens. Is the old same stuff. Bench press, squats, deadlifts, clean and press. Uh, stick to the old-fashioned, routines. And that's basically it. You can start lightweight, just so you get used to it and you don't end up injured. Just start light, get used to the exercise, perfect it, and that's it. What part of the DR? I said from Mocha, Dominican Republic. That's the question. What part of Dominican Republic am I from? What's my diet like? My diet is mostly milkshakes right now. Milkshakes, rice and beans. I eat that shit every day. I don't care whether I'm cutting or bulking. I'm eating rice and beans every day. And I try to eat meats, but I haven't been eating as many as I should now. I've been eating mostly fruits, oatmeal, milk, and protein shakes. That's all I've been eating most for the most part right now. and a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I love that shit. All right. All right, what do you guys do for a living? We part-time personal trainers. We train friends, people that recommend us. That much. We don't really work. We don't really have full-time jobs. We're bums, and that's all we do when we need a little bit of money. We just personal train, people that we know around, and we might become full-time personal training in the future. Just wondering, when you're bulking, do you measure your food intake, or can you still? When you're bulking, I don't really measure it by food intake, as I just look at the scale and see what I'm gaining. If I'm gaining, too much weight, I just slow down my calories. Or you could, measure it, but this is like lifestyle for me, I'm not gonna do any contests anytime soon, so I'm just, you know, freestyling it basically. Um, if I'm getting too much fat, I just decrease my calories, take it down a little bit and try to gain maybe 1 pound, 2 pounds per week, something like that. What's my lifting split? So far right now is, back on Mondays, you could say. It changes all the time though, because I take rest days when I need them. Mondays, shoulders, and then I do biceps on Wednesdays with calves, and then I do legs on Thursdays, and chest and triceps on Fridays. And I usually take 2 rest days, and sometimes if I need it, I take 3 rest days. And that's been working for me so far. Who's the top? Who's the bottom? What the fuck, man? No, man. Could you please do a video on how to bulk and cut? Bulking and cutting is, it's very simple. It's all about the calories. You want to bulk, put the calories up. You want to cut, put the calories down, and just do a little bit more cardio. It's as simple as that. You just have to watch your calories and watch your weight, how much you gain and lose per week. Try to lose 1 pound per week. Try to gain 1 pound per week. That's like the best way to cut and bulk. That way, you're not losing too much fat and risking muscle, and like that, you're not gaining too much fat when you're bulking. What are some good tips and tricks to things to help you lose weight? To help you lose weight is basically, eating less and cardio. Just get on the treadmill, 30 minutes every day if you want, steady walk, and be consistent to that, and you will see results as long as you stay consistent to that. Damn, I still had a lot of questions left. Uh, all the questions are almost all the same. Uh, as far as, let me see, how's your social life changed? Respect. Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, my social life definitely has changed. Uh, as far as girls, it's easier. They're easy to get. You wear a tight shirt, you wear nice clothes, it looks a lot better. You have a lot more confidence. You go to the club, girls look at you. It's a lot better, man. So it's definitely a good life, and I highly recommend it for anyone. Anyone that's trying to get that confidence. You know, it's definitely changed it a lot. A lot of people definitely respect me. When I walk in somewhere and I look basically when I'm around some people, you know, outside the gym, because outside the gym everybody's bigger than me, but around me, I'm usually like the bigger guy, so everybody gives you a lot more respect. Just the fact that you look bigger, you look, like the alpha male or some shit. But yeah, people give you a lot more respect when you're bigger. You know, uh, you definitely have a a better chance with girls. Just the fact that you look you look awesome, basically. No, you know, not to be cocky or anything, but you definitely everything changes when you look better, when you look awesome. Whatever, guys. But anyways, just like the video. Sorry it's too long. I didn't get to answer all the questions. It was 105 questions because I let it get too far. But I'll probably do another one if you guys want. Just leave it in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.